Hi there, I'm Jeremiah with Noveski Rifle Works. I'm here to talk to you about Space Invaders or Ghetto Blasters or PDWs, whatever you happen to get that is in a configuration that does not have a brace or a stock. We're going to go over that real quick on how to install it. All right, so first we're going to do is we're going to disassemble the rifle or pistol. So I always tend to kind of C-clamp the receivers so that way they don't just jump apart because of the recoil spring. And that's about the cleanest way you can take it apart. So first off, you want to do is you're going to take off the little the housing that will hold the brace or stock. There's a 5/8 wrench that you'll need. Either socket or open end will work. There will be a little bit of blue Loctite on there, so it might be kind of difficult, so you'll have to brace it down or something, but they shouldn't be too hard. Just unthread that. This also includes the guide rod for the spring, the small cap, little washer, and then it should just come right off. You might have to twist it a little bit. So this is the piece that you'll be installing the brace or stock onto. So when you order the Space Invader in the configuration that does not have a stock or a brace, you're going to be ordering separately the stock and or brace. They're both the same. They run on the same rods. So you have this. There'll be a button that looks like that. A small spring that closely resembles a safety spring for an AR-15. And then the retaining clip that will hold that button and spring in place. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to install our stock onto our stock housing. There's some special grooves. These are the grooves for where it sets in the receiver. This is the assembly grooves, so it needs to be fully collapsed for you to assemble or disassemble. So we'll slide those in all the way until it's closed. Now next we have our button and our spring, and the spring is just going to lie right in that groove on the button. And you want to hold it like this and just slide it in. And when you feel it where it gets kind of spongy, that's where the spring is going to actually be hitting the little locking lug on the inside of the housing. Now from there, take a flashlight, look inside and make sure that the spring is actually retained onto the little square lug that it's supposed to be pushing against. And if it is, then you take your retainer and that just clips straight in. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the stock onto the receiver. First thing we're going to do is make sure that our takedown pin, detent, and spring are in place before all this is done, because it'll save you a lot of trouble. So take our takedown pin, I slide that in there, our detent drops down, spring, and I usually just push down and just check to make sure that it does have positive detentness. Now we'll put the stock on. I fully extend it like so, and it's just going to go straight over the tube, and then you align it so that way it doesn't bend the spring or anything. It should go straight in, and it's just press fit, and it usually will retain itself. The spring will want to push it out if it's not a super tight fit. But after that, we have our small little neoprene washer that goes there. Next is our flat washer, our cup, and then our guide spring and bolt. I would suggest putting a light little bit of like Vibratite or something on there, just keep it from moving, but that'll just drop right in. And then a 5/8 wrench. You don't want to go too aggressive on it, because otherwise you can mar up the rails for the stock, so just be careful not to slip. And you torque it down to like 35, 40 foot-pounds. And that's it. So now we're going to assemble the upper onto the lower receiver. I stuffed a mag in here that keeps the bolt catch, pushing that little lever out so it doesn't mar the surface of the upper. Now what I do is I take our spring, the little cup that holds it, a little buffer. There's also a small poly washer that needs to be on there. That goes right onto the guide rod, and I just guide it in right by hand. Sometimes it's easier if you just use the buffer or the entire carrier just to help guide it. Take your upper with the charging handle slightly out. Make sure that your carrier is not, or is your bolt is forward. There's that bottom takedown lug. We're going to rotate that out of the way of the trigger and push straight back. And then I just slowly release the buffer. And then the pins lock. There's that. Now, if you are not comfortable with assembling the stock and the small components that go into that, if you get it in the braceless configuration, you could check out Black Flag Armory in Medford, Oregon. Also, there will be details on how to contact them, and they are capable of doing anything like this for you. So thank you guys very much, and have a great day.